Well, hello there, YouTube folks. As you can see, it's kind of a dreary day out here in Houston, Texas. And if you have seen any of my previous videos in the last couple of days, I posted some drone footage of the Houston snow. Well, that snow came in last week and now it is gone. This is what I had set up for my snow defense in case my house loses power. I have this connection here, and this guy right here would do his job. And I actually had some additional gas over here ready to go. And now that this guy is no longer needed as a means of safety, I've gone ahead and decided that I'm going to winterize it. Now there's hundreds of videos out there on how to winterize this generator. I'm going to cover a few key points. So what I'm going to do is I'm first going to drain the gas tank. I'll show you how to do that. I'm also going to drain the carburetor, and I'm going to show you how to do that, because just running it out of gas and shutting it off doesn't actually help. You actually have to get the carburetor emptied out as well, and there's a process for that. And then when this thing is sitting idle in storage, you also have a situation where you start to build rust on the cylinder walls, because if there's any little bit of gas left over, which there obviously is, it's not going to be completely emptied. Gas has water in it, and that water starts to rust the cylinder walls. So what we do is we do another process to protect those cylinder walls. So I'm going to go over all that. And so first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to move this thing out of here, get it on my driveway, and then we'll jump over to where I talk about the tools that are needed and then start the process. All right, so follow along with me. You might learn something on this video. Now, as you can see, I've moved it out of here, and I'm lucky. I've got turf here, so it's easy to move the generator. These generators are quite heavy. If you look at one of my previous videos, I talk about putting casters on this thing. I'm telling you, this is probably the best thing you could do. It's the best 20 minutes between running out to Harbor Freight, getting the casters, the bolts, and putting them on, which the holes are already pre-drilled. It's the best thing you could do, because moving this generator normally is a pain in the neck. Moving it for me, nothing to it. I mean, I'm going to show you right now. We're on solid ground here. I'm just going to grab this. Look at that. I'm literally just pulling it wherever I need it to go. Like nothing to it. And it turns, it does everything that it needs to, and it rolls properly. And these are my casters, and I'll show you how to do it in that previous video. So pull that up, take a look at it. It's the best thing you could do to your generator. Okay, so as you guys can see, I've got it pulled over on my driveway. I apologize, it's wet today in Houston, so we're going to go ahead and work with it, even though it's damp and dreary. So here's my parts list. As always, you guys know me by now if you've been watching my videos. I always start off with a pair of gloves. So I'm going to keep my hands clean. We're messing with gas, and the last thing I want is gas all over my fingers. Next thing I'm going to need is one tie strap. And I'm going to show you why you need that tie strap. Then a socket box wrench, basically, for socket in case I need it. I might have more tools here than I need, but I just want to be prepared. A number 10 wrench, a socket that is a 15/16 SAE, not a metric, because that's the size of the spark plug. So that's going to be to pull the spark plug out in case we need it. And then a number 10 box socket that is basically going to be for loosening up the carburetor drain valve, because we're going to drain the carburetor as well. A funnel. We're going to use that funnel in a couple of different places, and this one is the type that has like a concave neck, and I'm going to show you why this one's important. If you don't have it, get it. And then this is my socket that came with the generator for pulling out the spark plug. So I have this one here that's my regular one if I work on my car. This one came with the generator. I may not be able to use this one because of the tightness in the space there, so I may have to resort to using the one that they gave. So let's go ahead and get started. And I'm going to show you the funnel and the tie strap first. Okay, so this is my generator at the engine side, basically where the gas is, right? And if you can see, you've got the ability to turn it on and off. You've got the valve right here. This is where I'm going to do the draining. However, if you look at Duramax's site, or you look at anybody else working on their generator, this valve is usually pushed out a little bit more. This one here on the 13,000 EH is really inside. So if I open this drain valve, which is a number 10, and remove this, it's going to start draining. It's going to drain into my engine. It's not going to drain straight down. And because of the way the engine sticks out, that's going to be a huge mess. So what I do in this case is I take a tie strap, and as you can see, I've got it tied in right here in these ridges, and I use this type of a funnel that has a neck that sticks out a little bit, and I put that in here. And basically what I'm going to do is just leave it loose for right now, but I'm going to basically loosen this up. Once I get this loosened up, then I'm going to bring it up here and tighten up the tie strap so that it sits right flush underneath it and then drains out into my bucket. The idea is that we don't want to make a mess with gas. So that's where we're at. So let me go ahead and do that, and I'll show you along. Okay, so as you can see, here's my gas can that's going to catch my fuel. This is how I've got it set up because I don't want my engine to get any gas on it. So I'm going to basically open up this drain valve. After I get done opening it, I'm going to push this up like this and then tighten down the strap, and it'll stay, and it'll just be draining because it takes a while for it to drain. So hope this makes sense. Ask me any questions in the comments if you guys don't understand, and I can try to further clarify it. But let's get started. Okay, so earlier in the video, I told you guys that I'm going to show you a few tricks that maybe some of the other videos didn't show you. We're trying to drain gas here. We're trying to get as much gas out of this thing as possible, correct? So one of the things that I saw in all these other videos when I was watching them is that they don't talk about the basics. If you're trying to drain something and the generator is sitting flat, it's not going to drain that well. So here's tip number one. Tip number one is take something, it doesn't matter what it is, in my case it's 2x4s, and raise the generator up so that it's not sitting straight, because the valve is back here on this side. Back here, you want the gas to flow down this way. So tilt the generator. It's not going to hurt anything. Just put it underneath there. And even if you don't have the casters, put it underneath the two bars that the generator comes with. But tilt it so the gas has a place to flow. The other thing that we need to do is make sure that there's no suction. So it's a tank. If you start draining it, it'll drain a little bit, but then it'll be slow to drain. So first thing you want to do is open this up. Let that air flow so that the fluid comes out. Hope this helps. Okay, so here's what I've got. So as you can see, this right here is the bottom cap. There's a small little plastic insert inside, and then there's a black washer. So make sure you save all of that because you'll have to reverse the order and put it all back in. So yeah, so that's basically it. Now what I've got is I've got it pulled apart. I've got my tie strap tightened down. I've got my funnel right underneath it. And now basically what I'm going to do is turn the valve on and let this thing start draining. Okay, so as you can see, it's draining, perfectly draining. No issues with the funnel, no gas spilling anywhere on the engine, and it's just floating along like it should basically. And this is what you want. You want to be able to catch all that gas. It's all good, clean gas. And in order to tell where you are with the gas, I would just let it sit like this, but you can actually watch on the gauge right there. So we got a long way to go. As you can see, you can even see the gas at the top. So let's just let this slowly drain out. Okay, folks, so as you can see, we're still emptying out the tank. And I had to stop this process because the weather started to get bad. So this is the next day, and I'm working on it some more. So we'll wait for all this to finish, and then we'll proceed. Okay, so we got this emptied out, and right when I was moving the can, made a little mess on the ground here, but that's okay. I'm going to wash it off. So now we're done with this. So all I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go ahead and cut this strap and pull this, throw the strap away and pull the funnel out of there. And then we'll move to step number 2. Follow along. Okay, so now I've gone ahead and installed my bottom cap with the washer and the gasket, put everything back together and tightened it up. There's still going to be a little bit of gas in the lines, so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go ahead and run the generator until it sputters and stops. Okay, so the generator sputtered and just shut off. So we're pretty confident now, or I'm pretty confident that the tank is empty. I've gone ahead and put it back on its casters. I've removed the 2x4s. And now we come around to this side. So this is where your carburetor is. This screw right here drains your carburetor. But as you can see, there's no room here to put a funnel or attach it or do anything, you know, where I can just walk away from it. So what we're going to do now is just take a can, open up that number 10 bolt right there, and drain the carburetor. That's step 2. So for this part of the video, here's my tool. I'm basically going to use it right here, right there. And this is my solo cup that I'm going to use to catch the runoff. So the reason why I use this size of cup is because you can jab it in here just enough to clear this so that it runs off in here in between the wheel. So let's go ahead and do this. So as you can see, we're draining the carburetor. I'm sure you're gonna get a little bit on the floor, but it's not a big deal. Most majority of it is being caught in there. So let's go ahead and let it finish, and then we'll put that bolt back. Okay, so step number 3 is the final step. So what we've done is we've emptied out the tank on that side. We've gone ahead and emptied out the carburetor on this side, so there's no gas in here. The tank is empty. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead, you pull this off. This is the spark plug. You pull it off of there, and then you use your spark plug tool that I showed you earlier. And what you're gonna do is pull the spark plug out and pour a little bit of motor oil in it. And once you do that, what happens is you have the ability to go here with the pull string and pull it 1 or 2 times. So what that does is it circulates the oil onto the cylinder walls, and it prevents the rust from forming, even with that little bit of gas that's still left in the system. And as soon as you get ready to use the generator, all you're simply going to do is put gas in there. You might take a couple of tries to get it to start, but as soon as it does crank up, it's going to just burn the oil out of the muffler. So it's all good. What a lot of people don't realize is that motor oil has, just by the manufacturing process, has a lot of detergents to protect the engine for a vehicle. And so you have anti-rust inhibitors that are built into motor oil. So we've gone ahead and pulled the spark plug out. This is my spark plug right here. As you can see, it probably needs to be replaced as well. So I'm probably going to go ahead and take this opportunity to do that. I won't cover that in this video. It's obviously the same thing. I'm just going to get a new spark plug, gap it, and then put it back in there. But I'll probably do that when I get ready to start this generator back up, not right now. For right now, I'm just going to take a funnel, pour a little bit of oil in there, and then I'm going to pull 2 times on the string just gently, just to make the engine rotate over and distribute that oil on the cylinder walls. So here's how my funnel is going to go, and here is the oil that I'm using. It's a leftover quart of oil that I have from a while back that I just use in these situations, and so I'm just going to pour a little bit of it in there. Okay, so I had to go ahead and change funnels. The reason why is because this funnel at the bottom end leaves gap. It doesn't fit directly in that spot, and you don't want oil going everywhere inside your engine. So this particular one, as you can see, fits in there perfectly, and so I'm just going to use this one to pour the oil in there. You want it to go down the spark plug hole and not go and coat the outside of the engine. Okay, so I've gone ahead and poured the oil in there. Now what we want to make sure we do is you don't want to put the spark plug back yet. If you put the spark plug back, it's going to basically it's going to be under tension because there's not going to be any air that it can suck in to distribute that oil. So leave the spark plug out because it'll cause compression. You don't want compression because obviously we're not trying to start it. We're just trying to distribute it. So you come back here Make sure your gas, everything is off, because all you're doing is just rotating the engine, and you just gingerly pull it like this. That's it. 2 times. What this does is it causes the oil to go into the cylinders, the pistons, basically all the areas where the gas goes, and you just want it to coat that surface, and that's it. And then now we can go ahead and put our spark plug back. What I like to do is make sure that you're not cross-threading it. So I usually hand tighten it all the way until I can't, and then I take the tool and then go ahead and tighten it the rest of the way. And that's pretty much all you have to do. And that's it. We are done. I'm not going to connect this because I'm going to replace this spark plug down the road. That's all there is to it. So I hope you guys liked it. Please comment, share. If you have any questions, let me know. And hope this works for you. Thank you so much for watching.